Hello everyone, my name is Ntanzi'S and welcome to the clan. So without further ado, let's get into this video. You guys already know what to do, right? Smash the like button and get to 1,000 likes, guys. It's very important that we get to that number in order for the YouTube algorithm to push us to more people so that we can grow this family as big as possible. Thank you all so much for adhering to this call of action. I highly appreciate you, and I also see you who is joining the channel, and I wanna warmly welcome you. You are now a member of the clan. So the clan does have a segment called the Self-Appointed Experts Comment. This is where you drop in your comment because you came with your two IQs and you rub them together, and then we try to make sense of what's going on in the Gauteng High Court in the Mngomezulu murder trial. And I read those comments as self-appointed experts, as Rata once tried, I don't know, to hurt us. And we were like, okay, bring it on. We're going to take care of this word. And it is now ours. So I'm going to be looking at a device and I'm going to be reading your comments. If you have comments, please do submit them. If you commented, thank you so much for submitting your comments. I will not get to all the comments. I'll try my level best to get as many as I can. Also, try not to make the video too long. So let's get to the first one as I turn to the device. Let's start with Everbot, who says Sibanda is asking 5 questions for 3 days. It's boring. Literally, I would say it's 3 questions. But I see where you're going with this. It's 3 questions that he keeps circulating around for the past 3 days. It's unfortunate or fortunate. I would say it's fortunate because I think Sibiya will still be on the stand today had he not asked for that document with his thumbprints and his signature. Remember, Sibanda sat down immediately when he realized that we'll get into trouble with this one. He abandoned it. Now he is sitting on Ntanzi'S neck, so he thinks. And he's just circulating around 3 questions for the past 3 days. We cannot go through another day of the same question that Judge Rata should be saying, listen, you've been asking the same question since Monday. I've been giving you leeway of doing this. When are you going to get to the point? Where are we going with this? Let's get to the progress. Women Crazy Faith says, I don't want the reporting Yadomfana. It always goes south. In big bold letter, south. I don't know him, so I can't comment that much. But what I saw, it was not right. Everbot says, I don't watch proceedings for today. It was boring. Truly, honestly. Boring, boring, boring. We're circulating around 3 to 5 questions. Londi says, interpreters are making things work. Whew. Londi, it breaks my heart, honestly speaking. When are we going to start having court procedures in our mother tongues is what I want to know. We are 30 years into this democracy. Innocent says Lindamnisi. Oh, the journalist's name is Lindamnisi. Okay. Nomti says, I don't listen to news reporters. They're reporting lies like we are not in the same court. I listen to legal experts, Melusikulu, Elton, and to you, clan. Thank you for putting me amongst, because I know Melusikulu who he is. The other one, I'm not quite sure who he is. But thank you. Thank you so much. I think Melusikulu is actually an advocate, if I'm not mistaken. Ntanzi'S says he is biased. Yeah, clearly there is some biasm in his report. I don't know what the angle is about. Honestly speaking, I try to examine what exactly is going on there. Jonah says, Clantis, I stopped watching news long ago. Good for you. Trust me. Peace of mind. I mean, I wish I knew this a long time ago as well. The peace I get being ignorant. This is what they call ignorance is bliss, especially when it comes to news. Honestly, I've been relaxed. My shoulders are more relaxed ever since I stopped watching news. Poor analysis, bad language, 30%. 30% and finally lack of objectivity. Keep up the good work. It's tiring to listen to the newsroom. Hey, I'm sorry, guys. Mina, I didn't even know they existed. Because that slot, if I remember very well, it used to belong to the Gupta television. What was it called? ANN 7 or something like that. That slot I remembered for it. I always thought it was vacant. But no, there's a new channel there. Lindani says these people are talking out of shot. I see what you did there. Thank you. Nhlaka says, what's up, Bizo? This flipping rata, he was all advice and interjections when state witnesses were questioned. Now the state is cross-examining. He's like a zombie. You could literally hear a pin drop on the other side of Rata's bench. Like, seriously, where are you? oh, maybe he's punishing us, the public. Remember, we always complained that he was interjecting. And I think he said, nah, I'm going to get them where it's going to hurt the most. When the accused take the stand. I'm just going to pretend to be dead. The pettiness. Pamela says, I really don't watch the proceedings of this week because of Vaseline number 2. And number 2, he is irritating me. I don't know who Vaseline is. And Tamila says, where can't you show le vampire journalist? Rita says also, when the police and the people in the house were contradicting themselves, the news didn't report that. Thank you. Even though I wouldn't know. But why didn't they report that? Why are we not getting calls from friends and say, hey, check out this channel. This is what they are talking about. Sakani says, the adjournment before 3 today was an email received by Baloyi. From where and from whom? Defense resources come in drips and drops. Defense should dispute. Seems state is not ready. They are still investigating. If I remember correctly about that SMS, I think he said it was from a court in Northwest regarding the court transcripts. Because Ntanzi'S says he was not in a particular court on the particular day. He said he was always in the car. He never attended court. I think that's when he got the... I don't know, maybe they made an application of some sort to get those transcripts sent to the High Court in Pretoria. I'm not sure. Maybe it's a different communication altogether. I wouldn't know. Everbot says, these people are evil, shame on them. And you know me, what I said. This is the second time I've said it. Yesterday I said it again. I don't wish them well, shame. Tandy says, what is really going on here? I wish I knew Kudelo Wazeyo. If Mtogo and other friend of Senzo, see, they tell us who they are afraid of. I wish I knew, but we know who. Or at least we think we know who. Because he got money, he got influence, he's got connections, all of that stuff. Because it's clear they are afraid of someone or something. Because right now, nothing makes sense. True. Liberty says, Newsroom Africa, yes, Dagel. No my words. Day says, I can't stand this injustice. It is so scary. Besides not standing it, it's scary. And citizens of a country, especially in a democracy with a rule of law, we're not supposed to feel this way. We're supposed to have the peace of mind knowing that there are people that we pay taxes to that swore to serve and to protect us. And yet we are terrified because we are thinking, oh my goodness, are we in a mafia state? What's going on? Right? Londi says, I noted that the title on Newsroom also. I quickly switched to something else because I knew it would be annoying. Child, if you only knew that small snippet. It's a 7-minute long clip. But I just wanted that one where I'm thinking, sir, were we listening to the same case? Were we listening to the same witness? Were we listening to all the things that the witness was saying? The most important one, because this is a trial within a trial, you should be focusing on Ntanzi proving his case on a balance of probabilities. And he is saying, that lawyer or that person, I asked him, who sent you? I asked him to please show me the number of my sister that sent you. He ran away 2 days. Isn't that newsworthy? Ntanzi'S says, I'm disappointed too. Yeah, for a newsroom to do something like this is very disappointing. Buti says, if this Mngomezulu fiasco is legit, a state would long ago called him as a state witness. Right. As a state witness, because he would have had all the right things, right? He would be legitimate and he would show documentation, payments, receipts, you name them. Why are they hiding him? Tsakane says, why is this Mngomezulu not called by state to confirm he represented Ntanzi? Fake lawyer. I don't think it's fake. He's not a fake lawyer because I looked into it as well. He's very much legit. He's actually an advocate. However, we want to see the in 2020, how legit was he as a representative of Ntanzi? That's all we want to see. Not the current status of his right now. Caesar's Palace says it is very hard to watch this case. God please help Ntanzi. Kuyoze kube nini. Ngazubuze futhi. Lucky says, do you think the state would submit documents that would dispute his version? Good question. Actually, a very good question. I don't think so. You are right. Dimpo says, you know what, clan family? I hope on Rada, I think he can see that Gininda and his crew lied. There's a possibility. He's got a very good poker face if that's exactly what he is thinking or thought. And this will say, scary, very scary. Yeah, that the Mayors may actually not get justice. It is very scary. Bizo comes back again. Tanta says that fool is clear because Ntanzi said he knew nothing about Mngomezulu representative. What the anchor is saying is totally ridiculous. And the fact that she was laughing, you know, within a breath, it shows that he's just an idiot. That's why, you know, that mentality, honestly, that was, for me, it made me very upset. Username, unfortunately, I can't see your name. You say, well said, my brother. Thank you so very much. I appreciate it. There's another username. Unfortunately, I can't see who this is. Who said the question of Ntanzi being pregnant, it's an insult to me. It's an insult to all men. Because men cannot biologically fall pregnant. Okay. Before I get into trouble and get cancelled, there are, of course, a new school of thoughts about this, but I'm not part of that school of thought. I'm still learning many things, but from what I've learned is that it's impossible for a man to fall pregnant. Can Ntanzi lay charges? I don't know, hey? Of what? I'm not quite sure. Nomaswazi says, hi, Mom. Love you. The video was trending. Ukuthi akafuni sonke siyobona i-video. Oh, yeah, definitely. Zandile says, I myself, I don't like that journalist. He always adds salt and pepper in his briefing, trying to be the best journalist. Unfortunately, you can never be the best journalist if you are going to be adding things that were never said. Or trying to, I don't know what he's trying to, who he's trying to impress in there, honestly speaking. Rebut says, this clip upset me to the core. I'm so sorry for butchering your name. Yeah, I agree with you. When I listened, especially to the one that I inserted, it's crazy. Nomaswazi says, hey san siyabonga ukucacisa ndodana. Hey, uyasebenza nge podcast yakho. Siyabonga son Clancy. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. I enjoy doing this, honestly speaking. I do. I love coming back and say, listen, guys, this is what we are seeing after rubbing our two IQs. Mlambo Design says, Ntanzi said something very profound today. Mngomezulu came in after the trial within a trial, so I'm sure they really didn't have a lot of time to consult, and during the proceeding, I'm sure a lot is getting lost in translation. I'm sure with a fair judge, all that will be taken into account. I think Ntanzi, I think Rata as well should, if he is indeed a fair judge, as he always says he is, he should put all of this into consideration. That number one, the witness on the stand currently is a Zulu. And possibly Mngomezulu himself, who's been in Johannesburg for eons of years, his Zulu probably has depleted because he's a lawyer who studied in English and he's done English cases, and some words will lose him as well. Just like myself, I grew up in KZN, then moved to Johannesburg when I was a preteen, and most of my Zulu also went out through the window. Plus, I went to an all-white school, and I became a coconut, and of course, more was chipped away from me. And when I listen to Zulu, like my mom spoke Zulu because she came from the northern KZN, and sometimes I'll be like, mother, please, tone it down a little bit. So I hope that Rata also will put that into consideration, that most of everything that was done to him was done in English, and then they had people who could not interpret correctly in isiZulu. We saw Mukhani, we understand. We laughed into stitches trying to translate Section 35 of the Constitution. Clearly, Ntanzi did not understand what on earth he was saying. Probably if Mabena was alive and he was put on the stand, and we hear how he interprets Section 35 of the Constitution, that means the rights, we don't know how he would have said it. So I hope the South Freak, whatnot, is doing a good job. Leah says, Ntanzi told them today that Mjako was there for his own reason. Thank you. I like that. I even clapped when he said that. Like, Angma's coffee phone was busy on the phone. Because it's true what Ntanzi said. If I am represented by my attorney, and my attorney, the first thing he needs to make sure, or she needs to make sure, are you okay? Is there anything that you want me to say to these people? Is there anything that you need so that I can put it forward? But no, this one comes at off your phone, quiet, says nothing. And yet Ntanzi wants to call his children, his family, as well take a bath. What kind of a lawyer that does not do that to him? I want to hear him. I want to hear him, Shem. He must come. Ramona says, guys, tell me one thing. Are there any YouTubers in support of the state posting about this case? First things first, you're asking the wrong question. If not, it says a lot. No, it doesn't say nothing. Because what we are doing as the YouTubers that you call us is principle. If you are a person who has no morals, no values and principles, then this sort of question is definitely gonna make itself into the public arena. That what we are doing here is that we acknowledge that some of these guys are hardcore murderers. We don't care about that because they are convicted for that. But what is wrong? I want you to listen properly. What is wrong is that there are 7 people that were with Senzo Meyiwa on the night he got shot and killed, right? And one of them, after Senzo had died, called the Meyiwa family and said, there is an accident that has happened. Senzo got shot by so-and-so's boyfriend. What is so difficult understanding that? What is so difficult? Even the Meyiwas themselves, which is the part that really shows how I want to be nice to you, but I don't know how to. It goes to show that this sort of question is not a surprise. Because even the Meyiwa themselves, they don't believe that the 5 men on the stand killed their brother. The mother doesn't believe that the 5 men before this court killed the son. When I don't get it. You are asking the wrong question. So I don't have to read the rest of your comment because you already opened it with the wrong question. This is a question of ethics, morality, value, and principle. Tubu says, I saw that headline and I was like, what? Journalism has gone to the dogs. You know, over the years, one sees it depleting. I was pissed by the granting of the 5-minute adjournment to the tongue-chewing boy Sibanda. Yet the same was refused to Mngomezulu last year. Yeah, he said we're wasting time. That's what Rata said. Rita says, I think Ntanzi'S biggest issue is the interpretation. He is getting these questions secondhand, and sometimes the interpreter misinterprets, and both Sibanda and Ntanzi are saying and hearing different things. True, and he also omits other things that I felt were important to be on record during the interpretation. The biggest problem is the interpreter. The second biggest problem for me is the interpreters. Cecile says, you are spot on, Clantis. Thank you so very much. Ruben says, contradictions by Ntanzi are not material such that they could prevail over the cardinal points that still stands and in favor of him. Thank you. That he was assaulted has not been successfully rebutted by the state. Thank you again. That he signed the documents under duress. Yep, they haven't said anything. That he never wore a gold tooth. I was hoping that Sibanda would have put it to him and said, you had a gold tooth, you had dreadlocks, and you had a 28 tattoo on your shoulders, and you also have a heart disease. But there we go. That he never wore a gold tooth, that he never wore dreadlocks, that he was never brought to district surgeon to examine him of the assault, so that J88 form is filled in by the doctor of his diagnosis, that he never appointed Mr. Mngomezulu as his legal representative. Those are the strongest points in Ntanzi'S evidence that the court shall not ignore when considering its judgment. 100%. With such evidence that has not been successfully rebutted by the state, these so-called confessions shall not see the next day. Thank you so much for this. You said what is always in my mind, but I was not quite sure how to put it. Thank you for being in my head. I appreciate this, Ruben. Caesar says, the only thing I can fight in Ntanzi, but truth will come out. I wish him in court and say, Viva Ntanzi! Yeah, the truth, you know, the truth is so patient. It doesn't get lost, just like lies. And lies always have short legs and they get tired real quick. Yep, I agree with you. Malab says that maybe you need to get a lawyer who will break down why Rata is still giving this trial within a trial a go on. I think most lawyers are a little bit confused, especially the ones that I've spoken to. Advocates, lawyers, they're like, this man should have not even gone through a trial within a trial. The moment the DNA did not place any of the 5 in the Kumalo house, he should have just said, he should have thrown the case. But I don't know why he's prolonging it. US Spy says, Clantis, I also saw that Ntanzi says he signed willingly under no duress. Really? What kind of a journalist is that? I got worried. I think Ntanzi is getting tired if he is now getting confused. I think this is exactly where Sibanda wants him. To weigh him out, exhaust him, get him all emotional, upset, and then he thinks he will get him. I think he's hoping that he will do exactly what he did when he was getting suffocated. Like, he gave up. So he wants him to give up and end up saying, okay, fine. Say, whatever you say, yeah, it happened. I hope Ntanzi doesn't fall for that trap. Nomti says, this week I'm not watching the court proceedings. Komota is irritating the out of me. Salvin, I just says greetings, letters, and the clan. Hope you are all well. Thank you so much, Salvin. I hope you are well too, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Puleng says speechless. Hey, I'm with you there. But I have to say something. Sisi says, Mjako's profile, April 2017 to December 2020, Director, Executive Support, City of Johannesburg. Under what circumstances would he represent Ntanzi while he was working for the City of Johannesburg? Was he moonlighting, or he was called as a friend of the police officer to pretend to be a lawyer, or he owed the big boss a favor? Remember, apparently the reason why he resigned and the police say they chuck him away is because of a hijacking matter that he got arrested for, and he was getting disciplined. During his disciplinary commission, he resigned. To me, when you resign while you have to come and tell your truth and be exonerated if indeed you are telling the truth, why do you resign? Admission of guilt? Thank you so much for the profile, CC. Yeah, definitely. What was he doing? Moonlighting? Or he owed somebody a favor? What's happening? Lindewa says, Sibanda is hoping to get blood out of a stone. My goodness. Keep striking. Nothing is happening. He doesn't know that Ntanzi works in the mines. So I'm going to read 5 more and that will be it, guys. Dumelo said the defense must call a handwriting specialist, thank you, to check the signatures on those papers against the accused. Yeah, because sometimes, you know how back in school, when your mom did not want you to go on this trip and then you bring an indemnity form and she says, no, I'm not going to sign it. You're like, girl, you don't know me. You take her signature, place the indemnity form, trace it. Okay, I was in primary school, okay? And I didn't know that the trip was going to be 3 days. Because for 3 days, my mama looked for me. The police were involved. Hey, big and naughty kids, sometimes people. They went to the school. There I'm busy on, those the jungle gyms, but not a jungle gym per se. It's like those army ones. I'm busy on top and I'm looking at the police looking up. They're like, sir, calm down. And I'm like, what? And then I look to my left. My mom was like this. I'm like, oh, it's my funeral this weekend. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Get a handwriting specialist so that we can see. The originals need to be tested, not the copies, because it's going to be tough with the copies. Oli says, this case is draining us, but we keep watching. We want justice for Sands. That is why we keep watching. Free Ntanzi, but strong Ntanzi. As a country, we're behind you. We're behind, definitely behind the truth indeed. Takalani says, I was disappointed in them too. Worst part, after watching Sibanda go around in circles, I am so frustrated and can imagine how Ntanzi feels. Exhausted. Kamu, the interpreter, is not doing any justice to Ntanzi with his interpretation. I am not isiZulu speaking, but I've heard him misinterpret a couple of times. Crying emoji. I just want to cry. Yeah, it's just sad. Lindewa says, I wish Cronier can tell the court what exactly was she protecting herself from by doing the recording. I think the picture is getting a little bit clearer in my head. Now that Ntanzi has testified around room 2 in Boksburg Magistrates Court. Yep, definitely. It was going to be interesting if it was admitted into evidence. Andiso says, this case and now it's about ego, fame, not justice for Senzo. I feel for that family. It's terrible. It's terrible. Luleka says, if Njiako represented Ntanzi, then who paid him? Good question. We want proof in black and white, Mr. Journalists. Yeah. Newsroom Africa, please let us know. Lindiwe says Rata looked very lost and defeated today when Sibanda was busy going in circles when he could have just stopped him. For crying out loud, he could have just stopped him. And the last one is from Ziplo Spur. Ntanzi does not contradict his lawyer. He described the places. Mngomezulu knows the name of the places of which Ntanzi didn't know because he kept saying, I'm not familiar with Johannesburg. I'm in agreement with you. That's why Mngomezulu called the places by their names. Yeah, definitely. I think so too. I think Rata can also see that. And if he indeed is a fair judge, then he will say that in his judgment. Anyways, guys, if you like the video, give it a like. If they like the video, give it a like. Anyways, do subscribe to my YouTube channel. And don't forget to click the bell notification so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much to everybody that's super thanking the channel and supporting it financially. I highly appreciate you guys so much. Please leave me a comment down below and let me know, how is this case going to come to an end? When should it come to an end? When are they going to stop wasting taxpayers' money? I want that money to go to Ahmed's Corral for real. Also, share this video far and wide. I will see you next time with a new video. Goodbye.